Returning to the observatory for what he hopes is the final time, the man feels anticipation and dread in equal measure. Soon, he knows he will have what he needs.
はい、どうも、あかねです。今も助かったし、さすがにここも最後のトライだと願いたい。何をすればシグナルは完全なものになるのでしょうか。こんにちは、葵です。
Hello, I was expecting you. I've already taken care of the imaging array, but you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things even show up.
ここもある程度準備してくれてたみたいやな。なんとかアレイってのは下から挿入したやつだったかな。ちょっとずれましたかね。まあフィクションやしな。
Very good. I believe we're ready to look into the sky.
Right there, Doctor.
これ前も見たな。カット。これは前も見た。覚えてません。全部照らせばええねん。
Come on in.
ふふふ。暗いね。これは来るかな。やっぱな。なあ。
You need to protect the telescope or we can't complete the signal.
これはオールドボッツ・オブ・アースナラです。なんで急に流れたん？なんでですかね。ええねんけどな、特別何か起こるわけでもないんですよ。過去作みたいに花火とかあっても、いや、ここでそれは違和感ありありか。そういううるさいねんな。音量がね。
There, I have it. But I wish these things would stop blatantly violating the laws of physics in my observatory. That's just rude. Are you all right?
I'll live.
I'm glad. I'll send the lift down to you. I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's bloody fascinating.
そういや時間軸的には初対面か、全員。そういうことになるのかな。
Doctor?
You know, I know physicists who would give 15 years of their lives for a chance to experience something like this.
I'd imagine that being stalked by horrible axe murderers would curb their enthusiasm a little.
Clearly you've never met hardcore physicists.
I'm glad you're in such good spirits, but...
Signal! Yes, it's completed.
Finally.
このショートカット感覚ありがてえ。
If all goes well, this should be the last time we go through the loop.
You know, I just realized that I don't have any memory of what happens after you leave. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. If everything goes well, you just keep going. I don't show up here like this again, no more bad guys. Things go back to normal.
Let's hope you're right. I'd love the opportunity to look into this in more detail.
Looks like you've accepted the situation.
I'm a pragmatist. If this is a delusion, at least my first psychotic episode is anything but boring. Really, Mr. Wake, at the end of the day, I'm a scientist. I love mysteries. I love not knowing. Whatever else this might be, it's absolutely fascinating. I wonder how far this reaches. Is everybody in the world experiencing this?
Who knows? I think reality's probably pretty fragile right now. Doctor, I can see you're very enthusiastic about this. I'd appreciate a bit of discretion.
Are you suggesting that we should suppress this?
No. You can do what you like, but I want you to leave me out of it.
But surely, with the things you know, the things you've experienced, you can replicate any of these results. We could—
Let me be blunt. If you drag me into this, I'll deny everything. I'll lie like my life depended on it. And writers are damn good liars. Word of advice. This is things man was not meant to know territory. You get into this, chances are you'll open up a door into a world of hurt. Believe me, I know.
I see.
あの湖の力か。あれって近くじゃないと使えないんだっけ。確かね。ただ、アラン先生が言った通り、人間が関わるべきものじゃないんだろうね。
In a strange way, he feels at ease, he is armed with his own words, and when the time comes, they will be enough or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation. Once more, we return to the drive-in. If he's aware of the absurdity of arming oneself with a few sentences and standing against a power that can pierce time itself, he doesn't show it. The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more, but cowardice is not among them.
もう何も怖くない。完全体のシグナルを使うところまでたどり着ければ。で、ここどこや？初めての始まり方かな？電源を復旧するってことは、例の発電所の近くだとは思うけどね。でっかいだけの遅延層やろうな。正確には丸の子ですかね。さすがに逃げられないか。はい。よし。
Never getting out of this, Wake. Never! Don't worry. I'll take care of your wife and your life. You're starting to sound a little desperate.
また何か始まったぞ。応援ソング多めですね。
I don't know what you think you're doing, but I'll send you right back to the beginning.
へえへえへえへえ、どうしたのよ。雑になっちゃってさ。
What? You think whatever it is you're gonna do is gonna make a difference? This'll end up just like before!
この焦りようがもうね、結果が現れてるんだよ。単なるループでないことに気がつかないのか。さて。やること一緒です。まあまあ、DLC 的な感じなのでね。4本強化で OK みたいなので、前回より1つ増えただけですね。終わり。
Again, the champion of light enters the final trap. The new reality is almost here. All he needs to do is change the details of the scene, push it past the breaking point, and the rest will snap into place.
そしてスクリーンにはアリスの映画が映し出されていた。最後に上映会を初めてフィニッシュやね。あったった。これを動かすんだよね。電源オン。それ扇風機ですね。こんなん使ったことないからどこに入れるかわからんよ。それでは上映会の始まり。
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this?
had the balls to go for it. It's my turn now. It's my life. It's my life.
Alan? Is it really you?
It's really me.
How? I love you.
I love you.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last. Are these actual events, or merely a dream? A memory, or a glimpse of what is to come? One thing is certain. This scene takes place in another time and another place, far, far away from Night Springs.
Al?
お疲れ様でした。アメリカンナイトメア終了です。映画を利用してアリスに接触しようとしてたのかな。それを阻止して劇中でアリスと再会できたって感じでしょうか。すべてはナイトスプリングスという物語の中での出来事。あくまでも今回スクラッチを阻止できただけ、まだキャビンに囚われているのだ。と、ここで原稿でわかることとかをちょっと紹介。今回のお話には元となった物語があったみたいですね。先制作だったからいい感じに改編できたんかな。そしてオールドゴッツ・オブ・アース・ガルズ。今回は歌とラジオの出演でしたが、なんかすごそうな力があるかもしれんらしいで。湖の力とは別なのでしょうか。んでスクラッチ、先生の真実は一つまみぐらいは入っているようです。このメッセージが誰かにっていうのは作中では特に描かれてなかったかな。今後出てくるのか出てこないのか。それではこの後は残りのテレビ、そしてラジオで終了です。
This is what you look like. Does that bother you? I bet it does. I'm not just wearing your face, you know. It goes a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of you and me. All the best parts. At first, I was just an idea. But they kept telling all those stories about you. You already had that rep. And then you disappeared mysteriously. And then the stories about bad, crazy Alan Wake came true. And here I am. That's the best part, isn't it? When that happens, you can always count on Cauldron Lake. I'm just as real as you are. And I'm the improved version. No fears, no doubt, no weaknesses, no self-deception here. I don't let anything drag me down. I know you like I know myself. I know it bothers you that I'm like this, that I use your name, crawl my way into your life. But I only do it because I'm better at being you than you ever were. I've been around for a while now, you know? Well, you've been indisposed, stuck in the darkness. I've been busy. I operate in the shadows, not always literally, you understand? I'm a little more resilient than those I've taken, but I do my best work in the dark. And there's so much darkness out there. It goes deep. And the things that live in it are vast, big bastards. They don't mind getting a little bit of elbow room. All that chaos and madness, it doesn't really do that much down there. It's like pouring a glass of water into the ocean, right? But up here, yeah, you can really make an impact. All they need is someone to bring them all the way through. But first, I had to take care of you. You party pooper. You're stuck in an eternal cycle now. The sun's never coming up for you. Everything else? Do my thing. Getting a bit of quality time with Alice. That's a little something for me. And I deserve it.
Well, art lovers, are you feeling neglected? You shouldn't. You know Eddie Rodman's got love for you, which is why I actually hauled myself out of bed before noon, just so I could record an interview for your pleasure. Enjoy. Now, as I'm sure you all know, the annual Night Springs Visual Arts Show is coming around again, and that's a big deal for all of us that are in the culture business. If you can call it a business. That's a little controversial, I know.
Oh, that's okay. Money makes the world go around, no doubt about it.
And that's one of my guests here at the studio, Serena Valdivia. She's a curator at the Night Springs Gallery of Visual Arts, and she's in charge of the NSVA Film Festival, held this year at the old Night Springs Drive-In Theater.
Hello, Eddie. It's great to be here. And let me just say that it's a wonderful venue.
Absolutely. And with her is one of the filmmakers, somebody who's actually primarily known as a renowned photographer, Alice Wake.
Hello.
Now, Alice, I've seen a lot of your work over the years. It's very impressive. My wife's a big fan, actually.
Oh, thank you.
You've gained quite a bit of fame as a photographer, but that's not why you're here, right? You actually have a film. That's a little surprising.
For me, too. I really wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for Serena.
You two are friends, I take it?
Yeah, we move in the same circles. So, about a year ago, I heard about all this footage she'd shot, and I got to see some of it, and then I started pestering her about actually putting it out there, because it was really good. I didn't really want to show it. It felt too personal.
Well, yes, I can understand that. It features your husband, and he's, well...
He's dead.
I thought he was missing.
It's been 2 years. This sounds awful, but yes, I believe he's dead. Otherwise he would have, well, you know.
Yeah, I understand. Well, hold that thought, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in for the second part of our interview with Serena Valdivia and award-winning photographer Alice Wake. Now, Alice, we were talking about your husband, Alan Wake. Is that a sore subject for you?
Well, a little bit. Of course it is. The way I see it, we had our good times and our bad times, and on the whole, we had a lot of good times. He really made me happy. I don't mind being reminded of him.
So you're over him?
I don't know if I'll ever be that, entirely. I still think about him every day, literally. I still find myself hoping for... Well, sometimes I think I see him just standing somewhere, watching me. I think most people who lose someone they love experience things like that. But on the whole, I'm doing all right. 2 years is a long time to adjust, and I'm not really the type to wallow in the negative.
Well, I know there are a lot of stories about Alan. He seemed to have something of a wild streak.
That's not really what our show is about, though. Look, all that stuff really gets blown out of proportion. He had his problems, but It's really frustrating for me because people like to talk. They love to tell these crazy stories, and they never really knew him at all.
Well, the character he created, Alex Casey, is a household name. The books still continue to sell. There's been talk of a TV series, a movie, a video game. Must be nice to know that his work is still being appreciated by so many readers.
Yes, of course, but I don't really deal with the business side. I leave that to Alan's agent.
That would be Barry Wheeler. Actually, I just interviewed him. He's currently in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also Alan's best friend. Do you two keep in touch, or?
We talk regularly. Like I said, he handles the business side.
I think we should talk about her film.
Yes, of course, you're right. I'm Eddie Rodman, talking to Alice Wake and Serena Valdivia, and we'll be right back. Hello, folks, and welcome to the third part of our pre-recorded interview with Serena Valdivia and renowned photographer Alice Wake. So, tell me about the film.
It's called Sunrise, and it really wasn't something I ever thought of as an actual film. It was just footage, things I saw and happened to shoot. It's not a medium I'm very much at home with.
You shouldn't put yourself down. You've got a great eye.
Maybe, but experience is another thing.
Because you're primarily a still photographer.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really used to thinking of the world in terms of snapshots. I frame something and try to pick the right moment, and then reveal that moment to people. Moving images are a different story. I'm still learning a lot about it, to be honest.
So this is a new thing for you?
Or maybe I'm just a slow learner. But showing it like this is definitely a new step for me. It's a little weird taking something this intimate and showing it to everybody. Not that the material itself is somehow shocking. It's just that those were private moments.
But that's why it works, because it feels genuine. It's not so much a story as it is a sort of an echo, showing us how you saw your husband at the time. It's not really about the sunrise itself or Alan watching it. It's about you two together.
I suppose. It's funny, looking at it now, especially now that it's been edited like that. It takes on a life of its own, almost. It's a kind of a fantasy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, you're right. I'm glad you talked me into it.
それでは、次回はいよいよ2の始まりです。そもそも、最初は、2をやりたかったんやなっての思い出した。いろいろと抜けていたところもあったし、結果的に最初から始めてよかったかもしれんな。ご視聴ありがとうございました。またな。